learn the secrets of the social media through the social universe, and in many cases, the secrets of the universe itself. We are joined here by Maddie Rose, who is the Miss Junior Teen Arizona United States 2012. Did I get it right this time?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, very good. So, a little bit about Maddie's background. She's very talented. She loves to sing. She academically gifted. I think you have a 4.0.
I do.
All right,
Thank
something
you.
she's very proud of. And so you were, and also entering into high school with the going into student council already. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, actually on the last day of school, it was really surprising because I had no idea about it. And just the thought of going into high school, you know, it's going to be a different experience right off the bat. But I guess they had some type of early nominations for, I don't know if it's president, but maybe just the student council body itself. But they said, okay, so they announced some names. I'm like, that's odd, I didn't know that. Then my name popped up and I'm like, that's pretty cool though that I get to, because I've done student council for all the years. I find it really great to, you know, have student interaction. So not only can I appeal to what they want, but I can also make a really great event or a dance or something that's really going to be nice for us to really have a memory of it, really make it a memory. And then, so I'm just entering high school with the Cambridge Academy, so that'll allow me to get a little bit more challenging, but also to advance in my studies as well.
Excellent. And as we talked about before the break, you would love to become an entertainment attorney. Over the years, take a lot of time and grueling effort and money to get there. But obviously, you're a very committed person. One of the things I didn't ask about is what was your evolution into getting onto Voice America as a talk show host?
Well, it's just kind of those things that it's almost like another connection to what you're already doing. At the time I was doing, you know, the modeling and the singing, and I had that, you know, that viewpoint of pageantry, but I noticed that all of them are connected in some way, and I thought, well, what are they all connected by? It's the media, because we have social networking, that's a standpoint of media, and then we also have TV, that's another source of media, but another one of those would be radio. So I heard that Voice America Kids, who had just actually developed, was for specializing in kids who are love is radio. And I thought, well, I guess I could try that out and see if I could really make something out of it. So I went to the auditions, I got accepted for it, and not only was I able to really speak with my own voice to other kids my age and even older, just really any age range, but I was able to share my passions and connect with other kids who are passionate about the same things I am.
That sounds great. You've obviously done a great job. Tell us a little bit about your show. The format of the show, you were saying, was kind of a variety.
Yes.
If somebody wanted to come on your show, how would they contact you, or what are you looking for in your guests?
Well, I take, like I said, since it is a variety show, there's a little bit more lenience, I think, with the whole guest idea. And all with that, I can have really anybody a guest. I have people from, you know, charity organizations to people who have their own career, whether it's a really professional career like a doctor, or just something that people have gone to school for a long time, like a professional degree, or people who are just really loving what they do, from everyday passions to local celebrities to actual celebrities, just really everybody from all over the board. But the format of my show, it's basically the same as yours. We kind of go through the segments, we get to know them a little bit more in what they do, and through that, I think everybody kind of gets a personal connection with them, especially listening to radio. It offers a whole new side of that connection. But if you wanted to come on my show, you can email me at silverrose101@yahoo.com, and that's SILVERROSE101@yahoo.com. And from there, we can definitely talk about maybe having you as a guest.
Okay, excellent. After the show, I'm going to talk to you about a woman who may want to come on your show that just got into formal wear, and it may be kind of interesting for you to learn a little bit about that, and she may even be able to become a sponsor for some of your gowns.
That sounds great. I always love gowns. They're so pretty.
You bet. So, tell us some of the your favorite things. A couple of things that I haven't touched on, and there's so many, and we have a limited time left in the show. What are some things that you would like to share with us about yourself that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, one of the things I think is really about school. I think a lot of people at the time, you know, it's really hard sometimes for them, and some people have a kind of a negative view of school. They're like, oh, it's too hard or it's too challenging. But really, from my standpoint, I think school's fun. I like school, and I really work hard at it. I think that's my number one priority. Even with everything going on, I make sure that there's balance. If there's something I have to do on the weekend, I make sure that I'm home by a certain time. That way I can get that homework done, because in school, since it's so much more challenging and there's so much more like kind of an academic pull, I would say like it's more rigorous, that you have to do more work. It's just kind of one of those things that you know it's going to be there. And from that, I just kind of make sure I have the time to get everything done. But that's my number one priority no matter what or what I do. That's kind of everything, and I really work hard towards maintaining a 4.0 GPA, because that's something that I really love to keep up and I'm very proud of. And then just going into science, I also did the science fair. So I had the science fair at my school for 8th grade, and I did win that. And then I won the regional science fair, and then I went to state and I won.
Really? Tell us about it.
Yeah.
As parents, we always want to know what actually wins that dang thing.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy. You know, for the longest time I thought about science fair, and I had tried it. It's always been a requirement at my school. Everybody disliked it a little bit because, you know, there's so much you have to put into that experiment. You have to, you know, look at it and keep going on what there actually is incorporated into it. But I actually did hydroponics, which is a soilless garden system. So it's kind of like the new generation of planting. It doesn't go in the ground, so there's no soil involved. It's just water, nutrients. So everything's organic. It's so much more healthier, and I can tell you from my research that you really get a good benefit out of it, because it not only saves water, land, and money, but you get bigger vegetables and things like that. I did basil, and basil's really known for how many leaves there are. And my biggest one that won was the organic nutrients, and I have to say that it went up to maybe about 9.5 inches. So that's
Really?
pretty odd for basil, isn't it? But there were so many leaves on it as well. So I'm kind of a science geek as well. So I love all that kinds of things. But yes, I went on to state and I won first place in plant sciences. So even though I wasn't the overall, you know, grand winner of the science fair, I still was able to accomplish that in my division. So I thought that was really cool to say that, you know, I had an experiment that was good enough to fit that title.
you should, you're going to have to tune into YouTube and see the proud look on her face. I think she's more proud of that science experiment than the pageant.
I'm proud of everything. I really love everything that I do. It's just so great that I can say that, you know, I am a pageant girl and I'm Miss Junior Teen Arizona, and I really love that. I'm proud of it, and it's something that is in my heart and that I've found that I love to do. But then there's also that other side of me that you're like, wow, I really am kind of truly a geek too. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I love being that, and just having, you know, really good grades and being really academic achievements is really good in my opinion, and I really am going to be keeping that up.
You know, that's a mark of being a well-rounded, balanced person. Is the mark of the true genius. That you have the idiot savant, who's at the one extreme of extremely intelligent in one area and even one subject only. And then you have the well-balanced ones that tend to be leaders. So we look forward to you being a great leader as time progresses. But yeah, I was valedictorian at my high school, and it took so much focus, and I didn't realize that my older brother, we were talking over this weekend about how embarrassed he was that there were girls that wanted to talk to me, but they never could, because I always had my face buried in a book. Other people, you know, in my time there wasn't texting, okay?
Yeah.
So, but I would be the only guy in the hallway curled up with a book during the in between classes, and nobody could talk to me.
Oh, it does take
and he was
so
completely
much.
embarrassed. He was my older brother, so.
It does take so much focus. I mean, just in 8th grade, they just started a valedictorian thing, so I got the valedictorian of 8th grade, and I thought,
Look at that.
yeah, it was really cool.
I was only salutatorian. You got me beat.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, I got valedictorian of 8th grade, so I was proud that, you know, they actually incorporated that in 8th grade, because I think it's really good for people to work towards that at a young age.
Right.
And just doing that, and I really thought about it, I'm like, there really was a lot of work put into this, because if you think about it, throughout the whole year, of the course of the year, you know, you have the 4 quarters, the 2 semesters, and all of that was just checking your grades, constantly checking your grades and making sure you do the work, doing all those projects, putting all that hard work into those numerous hours of staying up late at night, and then getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then, really just seeing that from at the end of the year, and it's like, oh, I finally get a break for summer vacation, and then it's all going to start again, and then we're just going to get focused again.
I wish we had another 30 minutes. There's so much more to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely wonderful having you come on the show, and maybe at another time we could have you talk about what the national pageant was.
Yeah,
That was
of
even at the back of
course.
my mind. In fact, let's see, we still have 2 minutes.
Yay!
Tell us about what it was competing on a national level, and that you just barely came back. So I'm sure it's all fresh in your mind. But tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yes, it definitely is fresh in my mind. I can tell you it's such a great feeling because, just being crowned at state was such an amazing feeling. You should have seen my reaction. I was, completely and utterly shocked and so happy. There's that mix of emotions and you really can't think about it, like you're going in circles, really. But it's such a great honor to have that title, and then competing for a national title, you get to represent your state. So people, they don't really refer to you as your name, they refer to you as your state. So they're like, Arizona, what's up? Just like, those kind of thing. And it's really cool to, represent Arizona as their junior team. And it's big and it's really cool, and just all of them together is a really great experience, because even though I learned so much from state, I learned so much at nationals as well, that I can definitely say that just from that time range of those few months, I learned so much more about pageants, and I really know my way around competing a little bit more. So not only is it really great to, get to meet those new people, because there are people from all over the country. We had people from Guam and different things like that, really literally everywhere. So I thought it was cool to not only get to compete and have that opportunity to meet like the judges, the national director, and all the other states, but really just to learn everything about it and how it is to be a pageant girl, and really what it takes to do everything all together, whether that's, charity work and you're in a hairnet and you're in jeans and you're serving people, or you're in a ball gown and you can be poised and graceful up on the stage. So I like the mix of that.
Absolutely. And then you're going to a more technically oriented high school?
Well, I'm actually at a charter school currently right now, and I've been going to a charter school since 2nd grade, and it's kind of like the sister school now, so it's a preparatory college school, and the Cambridge Academy that I'm doing right now has partnered with my school, and that will allow me to graduate with a high school diploma 2 years earlier in 10th grade, and then I can go on to community college. So still completing my general education, but more to an extent of going into something that I want to do. So if I decide to, still do law, then I would be a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer at 25 instead of 27.
So there you have the perfect cross-section of beauty, brains, and finesse. And we look forward to seeing the great lady you'll become. And we look forward also to tuning in next week, Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And thanks for all of our listeners listening in on this wonderful show. And thanks for joining us, Maddie.
Thank you.